everyone, welcome back to the Dolls, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I'm Kim, and I'm super excited to join in the hashtag How I Approach Blythe Collecting tag. I think it's a really fun topic, and I'm happy to join in, so let's get to it. So I did make a list of points that I want to address in this VR, and I'm going to start with an introduction about my collection, sort of an overview of that. First off, a little bit about my collection. I have 12 stock Blythes. I have 2 petites, 2 middies, and 8 Neo Blythes. I wanted all of them except for one. One was a gift that I did not see coming. I didn't even know about her until I received her. And I am going to show you some footage of my collection, but yeah, each one has a special place in my heart. Each one adds a unique charm to my collection. So I will further go through and talk about how I go about choosing my collection, creating my collection, organizing my collection. So I have 6 points that I wanted to share within this tag. Okay, so the first one is how I started collecting Blythe dolls. I came to this, and I think I've told this story before. I came to this hobby. I was really depressed. I had been through a lot in the past couple of years, like everybody. Let's face it, the last 4 years have been rough. And I was feeling really hopeless, and I had a friend that said, listen, you know, maybe consider what brought you joy as a child. You know, what was it, you know, that was fun or whatever. And I did enjoy creating fashion, even if it was just a piece of cloth, a t-shirt or a sock that I cut a hole out of, stuck it over their head and tied a little belt around it, right? I loved that. I also like creating scenes, dioramas. I am an artist. I'm a photographer, lifelong crafter, artist, photographer. And so creating Barbie sort of dioramas, I enjoy that. I don't know. It's just like creating the perfect scene exactly how I want it. I enjoy that. So I decided to collect dolls. I already had one from years ago. I had found like at an antique store called, she was the Barbie Bewitched doll. So that's why I named this channel the Dolls, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's kind of a reference to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but you know, whatever. I started out with Barbies, and then I started seeing this doll community, right? I mean, I came into this also because Tiny Soul Whispers, Candy at Tiny Soul Whispers, had come over to the doll community from sort of Tarot Tube, and I started following her, and I was like, oh, if she can, you know, have a channel about dolls, maybe I should do that as well. And so I started watching a lot of the doll videos, dolly community, and I think it was probably Tammy Powling that was talking about her Blythes, always does great videos about Blythe, and is really knowledgeable. She's at Peace Craft Dolls, if you don't know. So I ended up buying 2 fakies. And at the time, I remember I was getting ready to buy them, and I was talking to March Payne from March Payne's Midlife Dolly Crisis about Blythes, because he collects them too. He has some great unboxing on his channel. And so I told him I thought I was going to get a couple from Allie E, and he was like, yeah, you know, it's kind of the gateway, right? And I think Tammy's said the same thing, and it was. I got 2 beautiful factory Blythes from Allie E. really cute. I think they were $20 a piece, and I just kind of played around with them. And I took part in the VBR Virtual Blythe Retreat 2023, and that further got me into it. I got hooked on Claire, who makes things, through VBR 2023 because I think she had donated a couple of skirts, or some kind of little gift that they could put in the welcome bag, or those bags that you could buy for it. So Claire does a terrific job focusing on her Blythes, and all the stuff that she makes is just incredible. So just all of that sort of led me to, actually it was a fun gifting. My sister-in-law and my little nieces, and my sister-in-law who visits Japan, at least once or twice a year, was going, and I was like, hey, if you're near Junie Moon, would you mind stopping in and getting a Blythe for me, picking one up for me? And she was like, sure. She was on it. So the girls came back, and they had 2 Blythes for me. I was blown away. So my first stock Blythe, 2, were Urban Fairy Ellie and Float Away Dream. And when you open those dolls, like, I was dubious. I definitely loved the 2 fakies that I had, $20 each. Would I have bought either one of those dolls? Probably not. Not then. I think they were running, without shipping, probably where the yen was at the time, close to 200, maybe 175 or something. I don't remember. But then when I opened them and took them out of the box, I was like, ooh, I get it. I totally get it. So, long story short, too late. That's how I started collecting Neo Blythes. So point 3 is unboxing and first impressions, which I kind of was talking about in point 2. So I will say that unboxing is a special moment. It's really interesting because I'll have a perception, even when they're sitting in box, sometimes for weeks and months sometimes, because I have quite a few things that need to be unboxed. It's like opening a whole new world of possibilities. I often think about the Blythes in the same way that I think about, like, I collect crystals. Okay, I have been collecting rocks since I was a child. I bought this at a really wonderful gem store, I think in Arizona, when I was driving out to California in 2020. Anyway, I really like color therapy. I like connecting to nature. I feel like I'm fairly sensitive, and I know this sounds kind of woo, to vibes and energy. And so a lot of times I think that these Blythes for me have a certain energy that I like to tap into. It's almost like drawing a tarot card from a deck. What is that energy that I'm going to tap into that day? So, this new Blythe that I just unboxed, You Are For Me, has really taken me back to those early 2000 vibes, where I was at the time, what I was doing in my life. There's a real nostalgia, but I also am like, oh, she's so cute, and in making little gifts for her, I've sort of been able to bond with that energetic archetype. Maybe we could talk about it that way. I don't know if that's getting too woo and weird, but yeah, that unboxing for me is really fun and amazing and tactile. I am a complete out-of-box collector, I guess it goes without saying. So point 4, of how I approach it. I like to think about how I want to customize and personalize. Now, I am not going to change out the eye chips. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it on the stock Blythe. I like them how they are. I like what they look. I'm not going to do anything permanent, but what I've started doing is teaching myself beading. I want to make little beaded jewelry. I used to, like I said, I'm a crafter, so I used to do a lot of jewelry making, and I have all the tools and stuff. I did not ever get into beading, so I've just been adding beading to that. But I'm looking forward to making jewelry for the Blythes. I'm looking forward to making really amazing pull cord jewelry or pull cords that you could add on for the Blythes. So that would be the kind of customizing and personalizing. Oh, as well as creating fashion. I am also trying to teach myself how to sew. Yeah, I have a lot of, what do they say, pots in the fire. So that is point 4. So point 5 is photography and display. It should be no surprise that photography and Blythe goes hand in hand. After all, Gina Guerin published This is Blythe, all of her doll photography. There's been years of it going on. Flickr communities, Instagram. I see mainly on Instagram, of course, now. A wonderful channel. Ambly the doll has an Instagram account that I love. She's a fantastic Blythe photographer, and she does a great job. If you don't know her, check her out. I'm going to try to remember to put tags or links to all of these people that I mentioned in the description box below. But yeah, Blythe photography is a thing, and I have been a photographer since all my life. My dad was a professional photographer. I had a camera in my hands when I was a kid, 10 years old, professional camera. So it's just something I love doing, and as I move out of this acquisition stage and start moving into what I'm doing with the dolls, you'll see more of that photography. So point 6 is engaging with community. Now, I think this dolly community is amazing. I mean, from sharing tips, participating in hashtags, doing little collabs, watching other videos, engaging with fellow collectors. It's been a huge part of my journey, and I find that I've made some really good friends, supportive and a creative community. Everyone has their strengths. Everyone has their talents. There is a lot to learn here and a lot to enjoy. So I value that quite a bit. And if it weren't for the dolly community, I would not even know about Blythes. So I love participating in the Blythe, is it Blythe Buddies? It's the Facebook group that Tammy Pally and her sister Terry Jeanette run, started, organized, and they also run the virtual Blythe retreat that's been going on, I think, for 3 or 4 years. I've only been to 2 the last 2 years, but yeah, I mean, it's a really vibrant, creative, really fun community. So I learn a lot about Blythe within the community. That's point number 6. So that's how I approach Blythe collecting. I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into just, you know, how one collector does it. I'd love to hear your process or your journey. If you don't have a channel, just drop it in the comments below. And, you know, I would love to invite everyone to please like and subscribe to this video if you liked it. I appreciate your support always. Hey, before I go, I would just like to ask you about maybe future content. Would you be interested in a full doll room tour? I have an amazing little Barbie and even some Blythe books. I'd love to do a walkthrough of my personal reference library. You know, I'd love to provide content that you are interested in. So if you have any ideas, drop it in the comment box below. Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Bye.